Oh man, where do I even start? So, picture this. Karen, yeah, the HOA president, my late wife's former best friend, decides to hit my tractor during harvest. Not just any tap, but a full-on collision while I'm in the middle of loading corn, minding my own business at 6:30 in the morning. Perfectly legal, perfectly routine. And instead of admitting she caused an accident, she calls the cops on me, accusing me of attacking her. I'm standing there, corn dust coating my boots, steam rising from the thermos of coffee I barely get to sip, and she's performing for anyone with a phone camera nearby. 10 minutes later, handcuffs. Me. And Karen's playing the victim like a Broadway star. Let me back up. ASEC October 15th. Early morning chill in the air. Moisture meter reads 14%, perfect conditions, and the sun's just catching the tops of the corn. I've been doing this for years. You know that rhythm when everything is clicking? Tractor hums, coffee steams, old George Brooks song on the radio, dash cam blinking quietly in the corner. I put that little camera in a few weeks back after Karen started nagging about equipment safety inspections. Army instinct told me, document everything. Boy, did that instinct pay off. Then I hear the roar of a Lexus behind me. Not slowing, no braking, just full speed downhill like Indy 500 practice. I get maybe 2 seconds to think, what the hell? Before BM, coffee thermos flies, hot liquid burns my hand, the cab shakes like we got hit by lightning, and the crunch of metal on metal makes me wince. My tractor's bucket caught the Lexus's hood. Steam hisses, glass sparkles in the morning sun. Dash cam timestamp 6:48. Heart pounding, hands shaking, smell of antifreeze mixing with coffee. I climb down, legs wobbling, trying to figure out if I'm awake or in some nightmare. Karen steps out, trembling hands, smudged makeup like a deer in the headlights herself. Oh my God, Josh. Are you hurt? I'm so sorry, she says, pearls and blazer at 6:30 a.m. like she's off to a country club meeting instead of a potential car wreck. I nod, shake off the shock. I'm fine, insurance will need to see this. I mumble, fumbling with my phone to take photos. She nods, smile faint. Of course, these things happen during harvest. Yeah, if only I'd known what was coming. Because 30 seconds later, the switch flips. Her apologetic eyes vanish, replaced by this calculating glare. She checks for witnesses' empty roads. Neighbors still asleep, then glares at my phone. The tractor, me like she's sizing up prey. And then, you blocked the safety zone, she yells, stepping toward the neighbor's house. Ring doorbell, surely recording everything. Wait, what? I'm in the designated loading area. Stay back, she screams, mask fully on now. No trembling, no fear, cold, deliberate, terrifying. And then the unthinkable. She bends down, grabs one of those fresh white river rocks from the HOA landscaping about 4 inches across. You know, the upscale one she just replaced last week, and smashes her own Lexus headlight. First swing cracks it, second swing obliterates it. Glass scatters. She shrieks, pointing at me, yelling that I lunged at her. My brain freezes frozen corn dust, coffee stains, adrenaline. What the hell do you even say when someone's staging their own assault in front of your eyes? She dials 911, voice flipping from normal to hysterical mid-breath. Help. They're the man threatening me with his tractor. He blocked the road, bumped my car, he's crazy. Tears streaming, hands clutching the phone, pacing like she's on a stage. Please hurry. He's unstable. He might be drinking. Yeah, 6:30 a.m., in the middle of harvest, corn on the ground, tractor running, and I'm accused of being drunk. Absurd, terrifying, surreal. Deputy Rachel Miller arrives. 15 minutes later, it felt like hours. Karen still full victim mode, mascara perfect streaks down her cheeks, hyperventilating for effect. Miller separates us, asks for statements. I try to explain, but Karen's faster, sobbing, pointing like I'm a monster. He threatened me when I asked about blocking the road. Grabbed a rock, smashed my headlight, came at me screaming, she wails. I'm standing there in corn dust, watching this theater of lies unfold. Miller's eyes professional, neutral, trying to parse truth from fiction. She bags the rock, notices there's no dirt from the landscaping bed, lingers over the shattered headlight like she's quietly processing something. Hope flickers, then cuffs out, metal gleaming in the morning sun. Mr. Roberts, turn around. Hands behind your back. You're being arrested for being menacing. My stomach drops. What? I pull out my phone dash cam, photos, evidence everywhere but Karen points, screams, calls me a harasser, a threat, playing to the small crowd that's gathered. Cuffs click. Lights red. Tractor still humming. Corn spilling into the truck bed. Steam rising. Time frozen. Surreal. Karen's filming everything now. Hand steady. Voice firm. Finally, someone stops this dangerous farming. Gone is the hysterical victim from minutes ago replaced by a triumphant martyr. County holding cell smells like industrial cleaner and human misery. I sit, corn dusted and stunned, thinking I just got arrested for defending myself from someone's elaborate cinematic fraud. And the twist? The dash cam got it all, every rock swing, every hysterical shriek, every calculated move. Proof, solid as steel. So here's the thing you have to ask yourself. Who's really in the wrong here? The person recording the truth, trying to do honest work, or the person staging chaos for attention, manipulating neighbors, and weaponizing the law? You tell me who has justice in a world where someone can smash their own car, call 911, and get you cuffed in broad daylight? Comment where you're watching from, and let me know, have you ever seen a Karen in action? Yeah, that happened. You think it ends here? Stick around. This one's just getting started. Sitting there on the cold metal bench, the smell of bleach and despair mixing with the faint scent of corn dust still clinging to my jacket, I couldn't believe how fast everything had spiraled. I mean, one second I'm just doing my normal morning harvest, the next I'm in handcuffs, watching the HOA president stage her own assault like she was auditioning for a soap opera. You know that moment when your brain refuses to process reality? Yeah, that was me. Deputy Miller gave me a calm look, the kind cops give when they're trying to keep you from completely losing it. And I could tell she was taking notes, like she'd seen plenty of disputes, but rarely anything this absurd. Mr. Roberts, we'll sort this out, but you need to stay calm. Any sudden moves, and I nodded, though my head was spinning faster than the tractor wheels back at the easement road. Meanwhile, Karen was pacing outside, still clutching her phone, still recording, still performing. A few neighbors had come out in their bathrobes, phones in hand, whispering and laughing quietly at the chaos, though not daring to intervene. You could practically feel the neighborhood gossip absorbing every second like it was oxygen. And Karen? She was thriving. She'd flipped from victim to director in the blink of an eye. Tears, trembling, hysteria gone. All business now. Let me back up a sec, the real twist. It wasn't just me and Karen. One of my neighbors, Marcy, who I barely even spoke to, suddenly stepped up from her porch, phone out, filming too. She'd witnessed the whole thing from her upstairs window, and she started yelling across the yard. Karen, that's not what happened. Her voice carried, and for a moment, I swear Karen's mask slipped. Her eyes flicked toward Marcy, calculating, like she was reassessing whether she could spin this narrative fast enough to save face. But Karen wasn't done. No, she had to make it cinematic. She stomped over to her car again, picked up the other headlight casing that had fallen, and hurled it toward the street, not at me, of course, just as a dramatic flourish. Glass shards glittered in the low morning sun like tiny accusations raining down. She screamed something about menacing behavior while pointing directly at me, her finger quivering with righteous fury. You could almost see the storyboard she had in her head. Chaos, danger, the perfect antagonist, you guessed it, me. Deputy Miller stepped in before anyone else could get hurt. She bagged the rock Karen had wielded like a weapon, inspecting it closely. I noticed she lingered, noting the lack of dirt on it, the clean edges, the clear signs that this had been staged. I swear, in that split second, hope flickered in me. Maybe justice would peek through the theatrics. Maybe someone finally saw what I saw. But then the cuffs clicked. Again, my chest tightened, my hands behind my back, the metal cold against my skin. "Mr. Roberts, you're being arrested for menacing," Miller said, her voice steady, professional, but inside me, the world felt like it had tilted sideways. Menacing? Me? Covered in corn dust, holding nothing more dangerous than a coffee thermos that had long since gone cold. Karen smiled at that, of course. Perfect timing. Her victim act, polished to a T. No hesitation, no imperfection. She was a masterclass in manipulation, her tears drying up just as I was being led to the patrol car. I caught a glint in her eyes. Was that triumph? Maybe. Or was it relief at the control she'd seized over the morning, over the neighbors, over me? Hard to tell. I rode in the back of the cruiser, still reeking of corn and diesel, and tried to piece together what had just happened. My tractor, my harvest, the dash cam blinking innocently in my mind, proof that Karen's performance had nothing to do with reality. I kept thinking, how had a simple morning loading corn turned into a high-stakes, live-action fraud scene? You know that sinking feeling when your life is being rewritten around you? Yeah, that one. Back at the easement road, the scene was chaos with a capital C. The tractor still idling, corn spilling steadily into the truck, steam rising from the hood. Neighbors leaning over fences, whispering, phones pointed like mini-documentaries. Karen had positioned herself perfectly in the middle of it all, gesturing, crying, pointing, narrating. She was the director, the victim, the star of her own HOA drama. Every movement calculated, every expression curated. Here's where it gets wild. My dash cam caught everything. Every second of Karen's transformation from apologetic neighbor to psychodrama queen. And that's exactly why I'd installed it weeks earlier. Something in my gut told me she'd escalate someday. Maybe it was the army training, maybe it was instinct, but that little red light blinking quietly on the dash, it was about to save me in ways I couldn't yet imagine. Deputy Miller walked me to the patrol car, still keeping an eye on Karen. "You'll have a chance to explain, but we need to process this," she said gently. I nodded, too stunned for words. Around us, the early morning air was thick with tension, neighborly curiosity, and that faint smell of crushed glass and corn. It was cinematic, the kind of chaos you only see in a movie, but it was real life. And somehow, despite everything, I could feel the threads of karma starting to tug. In the holding cell, the metal bench cold beneath me, I replayed the morning over and over. Karen's face, her theatrics, the precision of her lies. But also, the evidence I had, the dash cam footage, the photos of the headlight, the rock. All of it lined up perfectly to tell the truth. My fingers itched to get back to it, to show the world exactly what had happened. I could already picture the court scene, the HOA board members' faces, Karen squirming under the weight of her own fabrication. And you know what? That's when it hit me. The real twist wasn't the accident. The real twist wasn't even the arrest. It was that sometimes the truth is slow, but it's relentless, and no amount of theatrics can hide it forever. Yeah, she got the initial upper hand, but the evidence me quiet, blinking little witness on the dash was ready to tell the real story. So here I sit, corn dust fading, but the anger still fresh, thinking about how mornings on the easement road will never feel normal again. About the way people can flip from neighborly concern to full-on villain in seconds. About the way power, performance, and manipulation can twist reality for anyone watching. And about the day when that tractor, my dash cam, and a little bit of patience finally delivered justice in ways Karen couldn't stage. Now, I want to know from you, what would you do if someone pulled this kind of stunt in your neighborhood? Would you stay silent, record everything, or confront it head-on? Drop your thoughts below and tell me who hats justice, and when does it become performance?